important than the others, but still gets changed. So this is the air inlet filter, so it's just basically the inlet of this pump. So this pump is the air pump that generates both the sheath and the sample pressure, and this is the inlet for it. I guess eventually these things will get blocked if you left them on forever, but I've never actually seen one get blocked to the stage that it starts to burn out the pump or anything. So
why are they so different than the PTFE ones?
Because it's an air filter, so it's just
I see.
yeah, it's just dragging air in from the environment, and so that it's not pulling dust into the pump. Essentially, that's all it's for. I have seen them in really dusty labs. You can see them on the inlet. They start to get dark on one side, but this one's a very clean lab. So it seems. Yeah. What else? So yeah, there's the pinch valve tubing, which wasn't in the kit, and that is the last part of one of the last parts. The other part I already changed, and that was the other piece of tubing, which was the peristaltic pump tubing. Sorry.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I should have some here. There it is. That will do. Yes, that was the one. So yeah, this is soft silicon tubing, and this is too long really, so I'll just cut that in half, and you can keep the other bit. So this goes into here, this pinch valve. Okay. So this is the vent for the sample pressure. So when you put the tube on standby, this valve opens. So it's when you're on run, it pinches it closed, and then when you put it on standby, it opens. So if you find that you put the tube on standby and the liquid still continues to run, it may be that this thing is staying stuck. That could be because this valve has failed, but more likely it's because the tubing is just fatigued. And that can become a problem. It's more likely to become a problem if you don't use it for a while. So let me just up through there.
I can't quite see where it goes to.
Okay. So it's this white.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And there's a directionality to the thing, no?
No, not at all. No, just whichever one is easiest to get it in.
And the other end of the tubing just stays open?
It stays open, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just vents into the atmosphere. The other thing which I have already changed, which was part of the pump, I'll show you on this one. So this is the peristaltic pump. This is the one I've just replaced, and it sits back here. So you have this peristaltic pump tubing. It has two connectors going to each end of it. The one on this side is a straight through connector, and it goes from another piece of black tubing exactly the same, and that goes to the back of the flow cell eventually, but it connects to a long piece of the same sort of tubing. On the other side there's a T-shaped connector which goes to some orange waistline tubing. So what you do is when you come to it, that will be closed and that will be in place. On yours you've got a finger tightener, so you can actually use your fingers to open and close it, whereas this one is slightly different. It needs an Allen key. But you undo one side and then lift. The other one should be slack enough for you to be able to lift that like that. Then what you do is you unscrew this, which is a bit stiff, So you can unscrew it, not all the way. If you unscrew it all the way and it comes off, it doesn't matter. But try not to do it all the way. And then this clip is sort of holding this tubing in place. So you pull that backwards and then off like that. And then it's just a case of taking that tubing out and replacing it with another length of the same tubing. So just thread it through there like that, onto there like that, and then using this clip, and this is the fiddly bit, particularly when it's in place, you need to clip it down like that, screw that thing back in place, not all the way, and then just pull it slightly tight like that. Not too tight, but slightly tight so that it pulls onto here. And then close that like that. And tighten it down. If after you've done that you find that sometimes when you close the sample arm, the sample is being aspirated really quickly, it can be because there's either a problem with the way that this tubing has been seated, or more commonly it can be because this pump head has worn out, and they can become wobbly if they wear out, and then it will need replacing the pump head. What you can do, you can use it, if you use it without the outer tube, then this pump doesn't get used at all. Basically all this pump is for is taking the drips away.
Yeah.
And then they sort of go up the inside of the sample probe and clean it, essentially, and it takes the drips away. But if you take this outer probe off, it will drip. If you put something there to catch the drips, you can carry on using it without this forever. It really doesn't matter. And the early ones like that, some of them didn't even have one of these inside at all. They just worked like that. They just dripped, and people just accepted the fact that they dripped, and that was it.
So basically, on the EMS connection, there's no point with that pump at all, right? Because
That's
the EMS
correct.
is, okay.
Yeah, it's not used.
That's what we suspected.
Yeah,
when
it's not used at all.
down.
I will. This is your old one, so I will leave that here. This is obviously a good one, and you've probably got one down there as well that you can use. If you need to replace the pump head, if you feel that you ever need to, it's a bit fiddly, but it's not too difficult. So basically, if you unscrew that screw and that screw,
Right.
yeah, the whole thing just comes off. So that isn't held in place. That's just like a little pin that engages in that slot. So you take those screws off, and this whole thing comes off, and then you manually turn that until the pin on the back of there and the thing on there line up, and then put it back in place. Then this is the really fiddly bit. These spacers fall out. So when you take them off, these things fall off, and it's a pain. But best thing to do is to put a little bit of tape or something on this side, or just anything, glue even, and just stick it on there. Put it in place, get it slightly engaged, have it turning as you tighten it up. So open the tube, as you tighten these screws, have the tube open and have the thing actually turning as you tighten it into place. Otherwise it might be at a slight angle when you try and do it, and it will make a horrible noise forever.